The 6th Annual Minnesota Private and Independent Education Awards is presented by API Group Incorporated, and this awards program is made possible in part by support from RBC Wealth Management, Augsburg College, the Hamline University School of Education, Mayors and Power, Patterson Companies Incorporated, St. Mary's University of Minnesota, Boulay, TADS, Minnesota's private colleges, Boyum and Berenshire Certified Public Accountants and Advisors, Allegra and Image 360 Graphics, Signage, and Displays, Capella University, Mark and Jane Chronister, CompuNet International, Concordia University of St. Paul, LifeTouch, Martin Luther College, Smart Tuition, the University of St. Thomas, and Xcel Energy.
And now please stand as we welcome the Cretin-Durham Hall Color Guard to open our ceremony. We will then be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Pleasant Radford, class of 2014, Master of Business MBA graduate candidate here at UST. He is currently assisting MISF with a special project for our future award celebration.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Color Guard. And thank you, Pleasant, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And now, please be seated as our award celebration begins. We are thrilled and honored to welcome back to our event this year a very special individual who will be serving us tonight as Master of Ceremonies. Mr. Bob Stromberg was with us last year, and he had an audience laughing so hard some of us couldn't stand it. Bob is truly humble and a funny man, and he has a unique story when it comes to private education, which I think he'll share with us tonight. From his home in St. Paul, Minnesota, Bob travels all over the world, performing as he has been featured and favorite emcee for many large stadium and area gatherings. He's the co-author and one of the original stars of the mega-hit theatrical comedy Triple Espresso, which has been seen by almost 2 million people from San Diego to the West End of London. That's not the East End, that's the West End of London. The Chicago Sun-Times called him a mesmerizing physical comedian. The London Times called him a genuinely funny man. And so he is. Please help me give Bob a warm welcome.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. Oh, please make yourself, please stay seated. That's great. Make yourself comfortable, kind of turn this way, because we're going to have all our attention up here now the rest of the evening. So nice to be with you. My name is Bob Stromberg, and I am a comedian. I always like to tell that to people ahead of time. May I just ask, how many of you were here last year at this event? Hands up there. Okay, let me ask this. Of those people, how many of you actually won last year, won an award last year? Okay, don't you agree? Don't you three agree? These celebrations are so much more fun when you win. I wouldn't actually know because I've not won anything, but I was awarded something. Well, I was honored, I should say. I wasn't actually awarded. I didn't get a thing, but I was honored. I had a Facebook friend send me a message, a real friend too, Facebook friend, but he also is a real friend, sent me a direct message. I was at my computer, boom, it popped up there, and it said, this is 6 weeks ago, it said, congratulations, so proud. That was it. And I said, thank you so much, so happy. Why? And he said, check out the link. And there was a link there, www.americomics.fun or something, I don't know. And so I went to it, and this Top American Comics, this is their website, and there I was, a picture, the bio. There were 4,300 of us there. I was in a smaller category called clean/older. There were 3 of us. The other 2 guys had walkers. I noticed that. But it is a delight to be back here. I've been doing this work because I was here last year, and I've been doing this work for 40 years, and I've never been asked back before. So this is really a great honor tonight, and it's such an honor to welcome you on behalf of MISF, our honorees, our guests, and our event sponsors to this, the 6th annual Minnesota Private and Independent Education Awards celebration, and that would be the time when you would clap. That would be on the screen if we'd gotten that graphic there. That's right. Thank you so much for being here tonight, for making this success. We have around 400 people here tonight, which is amazing. We had about 300 last year, 400 this year, and 6 years ago there were like 3 tables down here. Really, I mean, really, that's not even. I'm not even trying to be funny. So this is really a remarkable thing. Thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to thank our valued sponsors, of which a number of you are here. Also like to thank our presenting sponsor of tonight's celebration, and that's the API Group. You can see at the top of our list there. Unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunate, but they have their annual meeting and their executives retreat this weekend out of town, or this week out of town, so they don't have any representatives that we can clap for. So we won't. They're not here. So why don't we clap for all the rest of you on the screen up there, though? That would be a good thing to do. And our thanks to API and all of you. We appreciate it. Wish we could have you all come up here and tell us a little bit about your companies and why you sponsor MISF. But since we can't, on pages 26 and 27 in your program booklet, all the sponsors are listed there, and there are some ads as well in your program. And there will be some sponsors that will go by on the screens tonight as well. However, right now, would like to recognize some people. Now listen to this. If you are on the MISF Board of Directors, the President's Cabinet, the Awards Planning Committee, the Blue Ribbon Selection Committee, the STEM Advisory Committee, or if you are affiliated with one of the organizations supporting our STEM program, or if you are a sponsor for this evening's celebration, I could probably just say, or if you are of the male or female gender, would those people stand right now where you are so we can recognize you and give you an applause? So I know you're out there. Thank you so much for your work. We appreciate it. I have a special connection to MISF. In 1992, my wife and I, her name is Judy, we were living in Chicago with our 2 sons, Nate and Lars. And Nate was getting ready to go to high school the next year. Lars was getting ready to go to middle school or junior high. And we were in the city of Chicago. And I understand that there are good city schools and there are some not so good city schools. And there are good public schools and some not so good public schools. And I know that students can go to any of those types, and some of them can do quite well. But we were looking at our sons, especially our older son, this kind of shy, sensitive kid, getting ready to go to this very, very large, tough school near where we were living in the city of Chicago. And we just realized, and some of you perhaps have felt this as parents too, we just realized we only get one shot with our kids. I mean, this is it. We're only parents for them during these years, and they're done. And we just thought we probably can do better for them. And so we were thinking, well, what school might we want to send the boys to? And I said, I've spoken at a school up in Minneapolis a couple times and really liked this place. Why don't we go up? And it was one of your MISF schools. It was Minnehaha Academy. So we came up. We literally came up for 2 days, stayed at the Hampton Inn down by the airport, went to the academy, talked to people there, drove around, talked to real estate people. I'd say, how far is it to the airport? In my profession, I only needed to get to an airport. That was it. And how far is it? And no matter where I was from, we were from White Bear to Egan, people would say, 20 minutes, which wasn't quite true, as you know, but it not too far off either. And so we moved here. We didn't know a soul. We moved here so that our kids could go to one of your schools. And I was real proud last year that Minnehaha actually won the Academic Program Award. Is Minnehaha here? I assume you're here. Yeah, so that was pretty great of you guys, for you guys last year. Hey, you don't need to clap because I'll tell you why. It's really cheating in a way because their program, they won it for this outer space thing that they were doing with how polymers work and and they had a few students orbiting Mars or something, and so really, it's hard to compete. They were fifth graders though, so they'll be back for graduation. So, and now as a grandparent, I feel that even more inside. I want for my, by the way, my son is teaching at Minnehaha Academy now. He teaches art there. He's been there for a dozen years. And both boys had a wonderful experience. And I'm hoping that our grandkids will be able to go to one of your schools because I know what that did for our kids. Do we have any grandparents out there, by the way? All right, see the hands there. I asked you grandparents, is there anything like it in the world? Huh? There isn't. The rest of you can just break into small groups if you want. We're going to talk, the grandparents, we're going to talk for a minute. There's nothing like, I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know I had that place that I could even feel that way. I told my two sons, I thought I loved you with my whole heart. but apparently not. Because until your kids were born, I didn't know I had that extra 3/4 in there. And then my parents got a chance to come out and meet their first great grandson. His name was Ben. Is still Ben. And to see my dad holding this little baby just a day after he was born, same family, vastly different worlds, huh? Here's this little baby just born to affluent, well-educated parents in a high-tech hospital. He was born. And here's my dad, this little old guy. He's been an old guy for a number of years and just recently became little old. Here's my dad, who was not born into affluency, but born to dirt-poor immigrant Swedish farmers in the Rocky Hills of Pennsylvania. And not born in a high-tech hospital, but born out in the barn. And then they laid him in the manger. Well, there was no room. Then the shepherds came. Roy and Vera Shepherd from the farm down the road, they came. I'll get off this real quick, but just this grandparenting thing, I'll tell you, did I ask you, there's nothing like it in the world. And I know that you think your grandkids are special, but really, compared to mine, and I heard grandparents talking like this my whole adult life, and it's like, oh, please, enough. But then I had grandkids, and oh man, my one 4.5-year-old Ben, this kid, and you know how they're like. Mozarts are born. I mean, they do happen, these little geniuses and savants. And my grandson, he has one area of his life that is so far beyond the other areas of his life, and that's art. This kid, you cannot believe this. I mean, I couldn't. And in other ways, he's a 4-year-old. He had trouble. He's been having a little trouble with the bathroom rules in their house. And so his mom said, well, Ben, why don't you illustrate the 3 rules and we'll frame them and we'll put them in the wall there in the bathroom. So then when you're using the bathroom, you can follow the 3 rules, which I thought was what a neat little parenting thing. And of course, he was all over this because of his giftedness. So he illustrated them. I'll show you the first slide here. You won't believe this. It really is. Yeah, I know. I know it, yeah. This is a picture, well, we don't need to talk about that. I think we'll go to the next slide here. This is number 2. He is You can see his hands on the handle there. And we'll go to number 3. Yeah, number 3, washing his hands in that deep blue Minnesota lake water right there. I told his mom was not happy with me because I told Ben, I said, you know, Ben, you really wouldn't need to illustrate washing your hands in number 3 since you didn't use them in number 1. Which I think illustrates another remarkable gift that this young man has. And at least 50% of you in this room know how difficult it is to pull that off right there. So. And the other 50 wish we had never tried. I know that's true. So. Well, enough about my exceptional family. We'll go on. Thank you, Michelle. We could lose that one there. We'll go on to you guys. STEM, S-T-E-M, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. MISF launched its Science and Mathematics Initiative back in 2005, 2006 to strengthen and enhance the teaching of STEM subjects. And the program grew quickly, and then 2009, MISF added the STEM grant program. And the program was designed to support development of new curriculum for hands-on student projects to enhance their understanding of STEM in work settings and increase their interest in post-secondary STEM education and perhaps in careers. STEM grants also motivate teachers to prepare new learning activities and compensates them for their time. Over the past 3 years, MISF has awarded $429,000 worth of STEM grants to 72 of our schools, and last year alone, 19 schools received $121,000. So it's just been a wonderfully successful program. We'd like to show a short video that highlights a few of these projects.
Highlights of the 2013-14 STEM Awards include the following. Bethany Academy in Bloomington. It's more than a toy, it's a machine. Bethany Academy adopted a new structural model for the science department for grades 3 through 8. The students had the opportunity to use Lego blocks to build simple machines for their design with the purpose of accomplishing an assigned task, such as cracking an egg or making various sounds. These kits added a needed dimension to the design and innovation of the student projects. The unit for the older students introduced them to the world of robotics and how robots are used in the world today. By pairing Lego EV3 systems with their current Mac lab, the students had the opportunity to design, construct, and program a robot that accomplished an assigned task. Christ Community Lutheran School in Watertown, elementary Lego robotics. Students in grades 1 through 6 were introduced to hands-on explorations in science and technology using Lego Education Robotics. Students gained an understanding of simple and complex machines, basic programming and team building, as they worked together in small groups. Learning activities were developed for grades 1 through 2, grades 3 through 4, and grades 5 through 6 to more fully align their science curriculum to Common Core standards, ISTE, and Minnesota State standards. This program fostered a greater passion for learning about science among CCLS students, and they will be better prepared for high school, the academic rigor of post-secondary education, and lifelong learning. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton School in Hastings, monarch butterfly and songbird habitat. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton School established a butterfly songbird garden habitat to attract butterflies and certain birds that are becoming endangered due to pollution, destruction, loss of their natural habitat, as well as pesticides. Students were able to put math, science, and social studies skills to use, rather than just learning how to do them with paper and pencil. A school family who owns and operates Minnesota Sodding Company stepped forward and offered their services in helping them create this garden, as well as help educate the teachers and students about correct planting and growing of their habitat. Students traveled to Carpenter Nature Center to take classes on birds and banding, insects, and plant or animal adaptations in Minnesota. the school will also be able to take a walking trip to the Mississippi River to search for plants, butterflies, and birds that will add in making their habitat an ecological success. St. Paul Preparatory School, launch of Introduction to Aviation course. This project developed a curriculum for a semester-long Introduction to Aviation course that explored topics including the history of flight, aerodynamics of flight, aircraft systems, instruments and power plants, weather and aviation meteorology, aircraft navigation and communication, careers in aerospace, and the impact of the aerospace age. Students gained an understanding of not only the physics of flight, but also the basic operations of small aircraft and how the development of aerospace technology has been instrumental in extending mankind's boundaries during the previous century. Each unit in the course engaged students in hands-on activities. Examples of this were in the aerodynamics unit, where students tested airfoils of different shapes in a small wind tunnel, and in the power plant unit, where students learned the basics of internal combustion engines, jet engines, and rocket engines by building and launching rockets. West Lutheran High School in Plymouth, a watershed network. The goals of this project were to teach students how to set up and analyze data being sent through a network of partner schools, have high school students learn how to establish a website capable of organizing the program, engaging the partner grade schools and collect data, and increase students' understanding of the interrelationship of our water systems. Just as our water systems are a network of connecting streams to rivers to lakes which feed aquifers, the data stream for this project connected the high school students to the grade schools that send students to West Lutheran. Early in the fall, this class was involved in data collection and analysis as they learned to carry out their own pond water analysis and an aquifer analysis via water tap testing. Testing included such items as pH, dissolved oxygen, biochemical oxygen demand, temperature, turbidity, nitrate, phosphate, and coliform bacteria. This data was used to teach not only good data collection practices, but also to develop a set of protocols that will be introduced later to the cooperating grade school students.
Tonight we are excited to announce the recipients of this year's STEM grants, which will provide funding for projects that will be implemented during the 2014-2015 school year. This year, with the guidance of the STEM Advisory Committee, MISF restructured the grant program, now offering 3 types of STEM grants: innovation, starter, and sustainability grants. In a couple cases, 2 types of grants will be awarded to 1 school. The STEM Advisory Committee met April 14th and selected this year's STEM grant awardees. I would now like to introduce an individual who's been very helpful in providing leadership and guidance, significant support to MISF and its STEM program. We are honored to welcome our STEM Advisory Committee Chairman Greg Chamberlain, General Manager, Power Generation Minnesota, Wisconsin of Xcel Energy, and he will present this year's STEM Grant Awards. Please help me welcome Greg Chamberlain. Welcome. Yeah. So as I read each school's name, if you will come onto the stage to receive your award, and then you can walk off the other way. And we would kindly ask everybody in the audience to hold your applause till the very end. So first, the Innovation STEM Grant Awards. Assumption Catholic School, Hibbing. Bethlehem Academy, Faribault. Calvin Christian School, Edina. This is innovation and sustainability. Cotter Schools, Winona. Gethsemane Lutheran School, Maplewood. This is innovation and sustainability. Holy Spirit Catholic School, St. Paul. Lord's High School, Rochester. St. Anastasia Catholic School, Hutchinson. St. Croix Catholic School, Stillwater. I'm sorry, did you hear something? I thought I heard something. St. Croix Lutheran, West St. Paul. Well, those are both St. Croix. That's the difference between your Catholics and your Lutherans right there. Clear, Leslie. Although maybe I should have waited. St. Croix Montessori School, Stillwater. St. James Catholic School, Duluth. St. Jude of the Lake School, Matamidi. St. Paul Preparatory School, St. Paul, Innovation and Sustainability. St. Vincent de Paul Catholic School, Brooklyn Park. The Way of the Shepherd Catholic Montessori, Blaine. Totino Grace High School, Fridley. Blessed Trinity Catholic School, Richfield. These are starter grants now. City of Lakes Waldorf School, Minneapolis. Crucifixion School, La Crescent. Good Shepherd School, Golden Valley. Holy Name of Jesus School, Wayzata. Holy Trinity School, Piers. Yep. Most Holy Redeemer Catholic School, Montgomery. Pine Harbor Christian Academy, Hastings. St. Boniface School, Cold Spring. The Whole Learning School, St. Louis Park. And now sustainability grants. Benilde St. Margaret, St. Louis Park. Mayer Lutheran High School, Mayer. And Minnehaha Academy, Minneapolis. Let's give a big round of applause to all these folks. That's what sustainability grants are for, like in Minnehaha's case, to get those kids back here onto the earth before graduation. I was reading a wonderful book that I recommend to all of you, pamphlet. It was a piece of paper that I found online entitled How to MC a Banquet. And it pointed out the importance of, in any banquet, of developing a sense of camaraderie, of family, and of community, and to do that in any way possible. So I was thinking that we would look at these people while they have their picture taken. Sense of community and family here. Yeah. Yeah, let's just watch. Now it might take them a while. We'll move on. So I was thinking, what better way to develop a sense of community and family? Hey, we're trying to do a banquet over here. All right? I was thinking what better way to develop a sense of community family than to do a song together. Because how many of you have heard the expression, music is the universal language? How many of you have heard? Yeah, many of you. That's a lie. That's absolutely untrue. Few things are better than music at dividing a family right down the middle. So I was trying to think, what is a song that we could do tonight that all of us would love? And as I travel around the country, I ask people, what is it musically, and you answer this for yourself now, that used to just fill you up and you're not experiencing it anymore? And you won't be surprised, you won't be surprised to hear me say this, that cross-denominationally, cross-generationally, cross-racially, cross-continentally, people respond just like that to that question. They say, Bob, what we really miss is group whistling. And I so understand where you're coming from there, so we are going to take care of that right now. Yeah, that's right. Now let's whistle together. One of the greatest whistling songs in all of American history. You begin. Come here. Please stop. I'm sorry. I should have made myself more clear. I didn't read the second page. I should have made myself more. What I should have said was, I will whistle a note, and you whistle the same one. Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry to laugh. It just sounds so terrible from where I'm standing. Anybody tempted? Can anybody do this one? Let's hear it if you can do it. Go ahead. Ho, real loud. That's good. Who did that? Who did that over there? Let's hear it again. Go ahead. That's better. Let's hear it. Right there. Right there. All right. I'm looking at him. One more time. Wee, weep. That's not good. All right, you're next. Right in here. Go ahead. Wee, weep. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Can you do the one that goes wee, weep? Okay. There it is. Who did it? Raise your hand. All right. What's your name? Daniel. Daniel, one more time. Real loud. Wee, weep. One more time. Hey, Daniel. That ticks me off. Now, I'll tell you why, Daniel. I worked 15 years of my life to do what you just did with such ease. I lost more spit over that one endeavor right there. And I finally decided, you know what? If you have the genes in your finger or in your tongue, well, then fine. You can do it. But otherwise, if there were children, like lots of children under the age of 10 here, and Daniel did that. Let's hear it again. Daniel, weep, weep. And I said, hey, kids, how many of you would love to be able to do what Daniel just did? How many of those children would put their hands up, everyone? All of them. That's right. And often in my programs, there are children like that. And I ask that question. They all put their hands up. And always to them, as a word of encouragement, I say to them, give up. It was so frustrating to me, Daniel, because I was the only one in my group of friends who couldn't do it. All my other friends could do, all my friends, except me. So consequently, I never felt like I could belong to a group. I fit, and it was so frustrating. I tell you what, Daniel, when I do this, you do it, okay? Here we go, ready? Okay, here we go, once again. Okay, be ready, okay, nice and loud. I'd be walking down the street, my two friends, Kurt and Phil. I had two friends. We'd see Mark and Jay, like 3 blocks down, and Kurt and Phil would go, hey, look! There's Mark and Jay. And they stick their fingers in their mouth. They go. And then way down there, Mark and Jay would go. And they stick their fingers in their mouth. They go. So it was softer because of the distance. And it was so frustrating to me because I could not do it. And finally, I think I was 18. I was 18 because I was going to college that fall. And that summer I decided, you know what? No, I'm going 500 miles away from home. Nobody knows me there. I'm done. They don't know about this disability. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. I quit. And I just want you to know, and I hope this is encouraging to you as MISF members and as teachers and innovators, I want you to know just what a blessing it has been in my life to become a quitter. And by the way, Daniel, I found out I could get by just fine without that. So I would just go, hey! One of the greatest whistling songs in all of American history. You know it. Here it is. Time you did this as a group. Kind of makes you want to fish. Last time with a finger snap. Here it is. By the way, for those of you who are interested, this is what you call a thin line guitar. Very, very expensive instrument. So, and now my favorite part of the evening. This is because this is story time. This is the presentation of our Story Awards and the unveiling of this year's Honor Teacher winners. Once again, MISF received many, many incredible nominations. Tonight's 4 Story Award winners and 8 Honor Teacher finalists were selected by the General Award Selection Committee. This year's 2 Honor Teacher winners were then selected by the Blue Ribbon Selection Committee. We'll begin by presenting our Story Awards. Again, this year, each honoree is featured in a short video clip that we know you'll enjoy. Our first award this evening is the Against All Odds Award. This award recognizes the sacrifices made by a student or a school, a student or a family attending a private or independent school and illustrates the progress or success of a student or school facing a particularly challenging circumstance. This year's award highlights the challenges faced by one of our member schools. Let's watch this video.
The 2014 Minnesota Private and Independent Education Awards Against All Odds recipient is Our Lady of the Lake School in Mound. It is the inspiring story of a school that faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles yet overcame the odds and is now experiencing victory on a daily basis. In early 2013, it was announced that Our Lady of the Lake School would close in June due to lack of funding. Everyone was in shock. But instead of sitting idly by and accepting the news, within 24 hours, parents had already set up a task force to save the school. New business plans were developed and goals were set. With only 1 month to raise $400,000, word spread like wildfire. Local businesses were contacted, many of whom made sizable donations. Everyone in the parish was asked to give, and the money began rolling in. It was a determined community pulling together to save a small Christian school, not to mention a powerful month to witness. At the end of the 4 weeks, the OLL Save Our School drive had raised more than $400,000 and had 89 students enrolled for the next school year. The entire community had succeeded in saving the school. And today, 1 year later, there are 102 students enrolled, a new principal, and a new school board. Although still building, changing, and improving, because of the will and perseverance of the school and community members working together, OLL is growing and thriving daily. One family that was passionately involved in saving the school stated, "This has been a wonderful example for our children to witness. Together we have shown them that with hard work, determination, and collaboration, we can make things happen. We can make changes. We can overcome." I am so proud of the accomplishments of our Mound community and the Our Lady of the Lake family.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Please help me welcome the principal of Our Lady of the Lake, Dr. Constance Krochek, as we present her and her school with this year's Against All Odds Awards. Would you like to say a few words?
A few.
Yes, all right. I'll hold this for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was told I had 30 seconds to say something, so just in case I forgot my
22 now.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you, MISF, for this wonderful award that we received tonight. And thank you to Jessie Navy, one of our school parents with us tonight, who wrote the essay that brought us all here. Well, Our Lady of the Lake School is located in a very small town at the very far western end of Lake Minnetonka. And we have a little over 7,000 people in our town, and our town is about 3.5 blocks long. It's very small. So when I think about the whole community coming together to raise a huge amount of money in a very, very, very small amount of time, it's really nothing short of miraculous. It really, really, truly is. Well, all of this happened a little over a year ago, and we're still on that road. I don't want to say to reconstruction. I guess we're still on the comeback trail. And because of that, I think this award tonight will really, really reinvigorate and get our community back on track and reignite the passion and perhaps that desire that they showed us a year ago to keep us on that trail of growing stronger and stronger each day. We actually have 103 students now in our school as opposed to that 102. So thank you very much, MISF, and thanks to Mrs. Navy.
Can we get a picture taken there? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Wonderful. Our next story award is the Behind the Scenes Award, which recognizes the quiet and essential work of those individuals who support our schools outside the classroom. These individuals are truly humble servants who go out of their way to make their schools environments that are welcoming and friendly and caring. Let's watch this video.
A perfect example of the Minnesota Private and Independent Education Behind the Scenes Award is the 2014 winner, Lucine Fofana. To know him is to be known by him. Fofana, the name by which he is affectionately known by all, is a custodian for Concordia Academy in Roseville. Born into the Fula tribe, the second oldest of 5 boys, his journey to escape the brutal civil war of Liberia, Africa, led him from a tiny village called Grand Cape Mount County into the hearts and lives of Concordia Academy staff and students. Fofana wears the remnant of a scar on his left hand that extends into his 5th finger, a near-death call when a Muslim rebel tried to kill him for food. In addition to serving as the custodian, Fofana spent his nights completing online courses through Concordia Seminary in order to become a pastor. He completed 4 years, graduated, and became assistant pastor at Bethel Lutheran, the church that took him in as a new Minnesotan. Although he is a paid custodian, he has declined compensation for his pastoral work. When asked why, he notes, "I have a job as a custodian for Concordia. I have what I need." His pastoral side views serving as a privilege, to connect and show love no matter what task is being performed. He can be found singing to students to help heal their wounds. Joy and laughter echo from beyond the bathroom doors, where he is found scrubbing toilets and cleaning the sink and floors. He speaks of using one's place, no matter the job, to witness to others and to honor God. He seeks out students in the hallway and calls them each by name, even giving them nicknames and telling them jokes, even if those jokes are at his expense. He teaches them to love themselves, respect others, and to cherish the privilege of learning. One day he witnessed a teacher getting rid of old textbooks. Seeing the value in these books, he resurrected them, boxed them up, and used his own money to ship them back to Liberia, where books and learning are scarce. Fofana also shares his African culture in the many chapels he volunteers to lead, and teaches students to be grateful. Years ago, and outside his normal duties, he began a Bible study for boys. Coming in early in the morning, he teaches young men how to be leaders. His new dream is to go back to Liberia one day to his little village to start his own church. He wants to take what he has been generously given and use it to care for and bring hope to others, to continue his passion to know others and to be known by others. He is a part of Concordia's journey now, but wherever his dreams take him, he will always be remembered as someone who belonged and wanted others to belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lucine Fofana, our behind-the-scenes winner.
Brothers and sisters in Christ, God is good. God is good all of the time. I work at Concordia Academy since 2000. I work as a custodian. I enjoy working at Concordia Academy. Concordia Academy is a great place. I enjoy working there. Beautiful place. 6 o'clock, I am at Concordia Academy. The principal and I, we are there in the morning. I use what God gave me in the Bible to talk to the brothers and sisters at Concordia Academy. I didn't only go there to work because that's a fine school, but because they value our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. At Concordia Academy, as you saw the video, I sing, I dance for the student. There's no student at Concordia Academy who will say, they don't love me. Everyone, I gave their name, Teresa, Joseph, and they answer me. They call me the same name, and we are always together having fun. Wherever I go, and Concordia students see me, they run after me because they know that I love them and they love me too. Brothers and sisters in Christ, I just want to say, Concordia Academy family here, thank you so much. Thank you so much for working at Concordia Academy. I don't know what to say. I don't just know what to say. Thank you to my pastor, Pastor Sibo, Pastor Brian Scholes, member of Bethel Lutheran Church, where I'm pastoring right now. Thank you for the members coming. Thank you to my wife, Isabella. Thank you, my sister, Annie Saliv, Brother Benjamin Woto. Thank you all for coming. Brothers and sisters in Christ, with God, all things are possible.
Our next story award is the Community Champion Award. I think all of us can imagine a community champion, a group that serves, supports, and gives selflessly through time and talent by reaching out in a way that makes a lasting difference in a school and in a community. Let's find out about this year's Community Champion.
The 2014 Minnesota Private and Independent Education Community Champion Award recipient is the Banyan community. Banyan, a community-developed organization located in the Phillips neighborhood, benefits De La Salle High School in Minneapolis. Banyan is an organization whose mission is to build relationships and transforms the lives of both poverty youth and adults living in the Phillips neighborhood of South Minneapolis. Sometimes partnerships are formed through unplanned relationships. This is the case with De La Salle High School and Banyan Community. Several years ago, Joni Essenberg, the executive director of Banyan and a resident of the Phillips neighborhood in South Minneapolis, was seeking a way to help students attend high-performing independent schools to increase the low high school graduation rates. This desire forged the partnership that has formed between De La Salle High School and Banyan Community, both of whom share a common mission. As a LaSallian school, De La Salle seeks to make a quality education available to all who desire this, particularly the poor. Banyan seeks high-performing schools for youth who attend their programs, of which 94% receive free or reduced lunch. De La Salle and Banyan have graduated 21 youth since their partnership began in 2002. Today, 25 students from Banyan attend De La Salle in a strong and formalized partnership. A few of the key components and outcomes of the partnership include Banyan, De La Salle, and parents share the costs to educate Banyan kids. Banyan staff provides all the wraparound services, connections to parents, specialized tutoring and mentoring of youth, connection to teachers for youth and parents, applications to college, all financial aid forms, and most importantly, long-time trusting relationships with the parents and youth. 60% of Banyan youth were on the honor roll last semester. 100% who stayed connected to the program have graduated from high school. 100% are accepted to an average of 3 colleges, and in total have been accepted to more than 30 different colleges since the program started. Just like family is how one De La Salle student described Banyan. She went on to state, "They expect so much of me, it makes me work hard and set goals. I would never be at De La Salle High School without the scholarship through Banyan, and that pushes me to succeed. When I think about my future, I see college, a PhD, traveling outside the country. I know these things are possible for me because of Banyan. It's easy to see that the Banyan community portrays in powerful ways what it means to be a community champion."
Please help me welcome, representing this year's Community Champion Award winner, the Executive Director of Banyan Community, Joni Essenberg. Take a picture over there? You do that?
Good evening. Thank you very much for this award, and thank you to the Minnesota Independent School Forum for providing this venue to highlight excellent education partners and teachers. It is truly an honor to be here representing the Banyan community, a group of youth and families that live in the Phillips neighborhood of South Minneapolis. Banyan is a community development organization, and we come to education as a partner. As I always say, that we are the school's very best friend, because we are the 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. wraparound services that provide all of the support that youth and families need to be successful. And I am so grateful for the many years that we have been partnering with De La Salle High School. It has created a pathway for our youth and families to have an excellent high school education. Indeed, this is a model that needs to be replicated not only in this state, but in this nation as we close this education gap and create more opportunities for many. Thanks so much for this award.
Congratulations. And our final story award of the evening is the Academic Program Award. This award recognizes an innovative or successful program that supports engagement and academic achievement for the school, students, or faculty. Let's find out about this year's remarkable program.
The Program Award illustrates an especially unique and outstanding project in one of Minnesota's independent schools. This year's Program Award goes to Risen Christ School in Minneapolis for its E3, Eat, Exercise, Educate program. Risen Christ's E3 program is a result of an innovative partnership between St. Mary's Health Clinics, Risen Christ School, and the Greater Twin Cities United Way. The program is organized by Shannon Gavin, Risen Christ's E3 coordinator. It comprehensively addresses two of the root causes of the achievement gap, sickness and hunger, which often keep children of color who live in poverty from achieving their full potential. Facts prove that children who are sick or hungry cannot learn. This is also a harsh reality for most RCS students, with 96% of them living at or below the poverty level. As a result, Risen Christ partnered with SMHC last spring to secure a 3-year United Way grant designed to improve the overall well-being of the school's families and reduce the risks for diabetes and/or obesity in their children. The result was the E3 program. This program provides students and their families with affordable and fun ways to weave 3 major components of a healthy lifestyle into their lives: good nutrition, exercise, and education. Key components of the E3 program include a morning fitness club where students participate in rigorous activities such as basketball, soccer, breakdancing, yoga, Africa-Brazilian martial arts, or Aztec dance before school. The Middle School Pedometer Challenge, in which homerooms compete in who can walk to a foreign destination first. Family fun nights, nutrition trivia contests, diabetes prevention classes for parents, a Friday food program that provides students with nutritious food for the weekend, and a school garden where students and families have the opportunity to learn how to grow, harvest, and prepare fresh vegetables. The school also began offering a separate section of the fitness club for kindergarten and first graders called E3 Sprouts. These sessions incorporate activities in the areas of art, literacy, nutrition, and physical fitness, and include designed lessons using the Food and Fun curriculum from the Harvard School of Public Health and the Eat, Play, Grow curriculum. This separate group for kindergarten and first grade kids has greatly improved the fitness club experience for the youngest students. Though only in its first year, E3 is already changing lives. The fitness club operates at capacity. Students eagerly show off their pedometers to others, and perhaps most importantly, teachers report that students are happier and more attentive and successful in class. Helen Dahlman summed it up beautifully in her statement. It is true, we all learn better when minds and bodies are exercised and well fed every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our Program Award winner, Representative E3 Coordinator Shannon Gavin, and President of Risen Christ School, Helen Dahlman.
Thank you very much. Personally, I feel very blessed to have had the opportunity to start up this program at Risen Christ, and I feel especially blessed to have found an amazing group of instructors who are talented, creative, and completely dedicated to our program. So it's their commitment to our program, as well as the support we've received from the school staff, that have made our program so successful in this first year. To me, this award really recognizes the bigger picture of what we've set out to accomplish. Risen Christ wanted to establish the E3 program in order to better address the needs of the whole child. So we know that our kids' ability to develop into healthy, happy, and successful adults depends more than just on their academic achievement. So our program gives families the opportunity to learn about healthy behaviors in a supportive environment, and our goal is that they can then improve their own quality of life, and that this will have a deep and lasting impact on the wider community. So it really is an honor to have these efforts recognized, and for that I would like to thank you all very much.
Before we leave our story awards tonight, if I could just add a quick story, not to bring it back on me, but just a quick story of my own. As I was preparing for this evening, looking at the criteria. What's the plural? Criteria. That's what I said. To correct me. Looking at the criteria, I realized that my dad, in his day, might have won one or all of these awards. People say to me, "Oh, you're a comedian. You must have been the class clown." I would have been the class clown. Honestly, that was one of my highest aspirations in life. It was my dream, but my dad was the principal. So in my family, that was not going to happen. But my dad was a tireless a school administrator and a servant, a lifelong servant of people. Still is. It's a life of service that he shows every day. And but in an old school kind of way. My dad, and I wonder if any of your dads were like this. My dad, when I was a kid, hardly a week went by, but what he didn't say to me. When I was your age, I used to get up at 4 a.m. and walk 12 miles to school. Uphill. Both ways. Through the snow. Barefoot. No, naked. Many mornings. Long lines of naked children going to school. And I used to say to my friends, because I thought this was so unusual, I'd say, "Tell me the truth. Did your moms and dads have to walk many miles to school?" And they all had the same response, didn't they? Well, except for one of my friends who said, no, as I recall, my dad only used to have to go about 9. But he used to have to raft part of it, Made me wonder why back in those days they didn't build schools somewhere near where the kids live. That would have been a good idea. That was my dad when I was a kid. If I said to him, middle of February, Pennsylvania, "Whoa, it's cold out there," my dad would say, "You have no idea what cold is." When I was a kid, it used to get so cold I kept getting my lips and my tongue stuck on that old metal cowbell. You kept getting them stuck, Dad? You did it more than once. That's my dad. If I said to him, I twisted that ankle, there's some pain, my dad would say, you have no idea what pain is. When I was a kid, pain really hurt. Walk it off. That was his solution to every injury. Walk it off. Bloody nose. Well, walk it off. Diarrhea. Walk it off. Thanks, Dad. I think it's working. I actually had appendicitis. My dad told me to walk it off. Now listen, he's not evil. He's just not a doctor. He didn't know that I had appendicitis. I didn't know that I had it, but I did. And when I woke up at 4 a.m. in recovery, my dad was 3 feet away going, I'm so sorry. I am so, if I had known it was appendicitis, I never would have, I'm so sorry. I thought it was a gallstone or a twisted bowel. I didn't know. Hey, maybe it was a little tougher. If you anybody close to my age in here, 40? Anybody close to my age, you know, it was probably a little tougher for our dad's generation, huh? Maybe a little safer for us. Maybe safer for my kids than it was for me. Maybe a little safer for my grandkids than it was for my kids. I like to think things are going that direction. I think they are. It's proven to me recently when I attempted to put my youngest grandchild in her child safety car seat. Well, when did that happen? That was a puzzle. I don't know if I did it right. I couldn't see her. There are just buckles all over her little body. I'm looking at her thinking she looks like a tiny astronaut in a little escape pod. Contrast that to car seats when I was a kid, huh? In fact, how many of you know this song? Sing it with me. I love to do this around the country. See if everybody knows it here. Buckle up for safety. Buckle up. Buckle up for safety. Always buckle up. Wonderful little ditty. Great little safety campaign, which would have been far more effective had they in those days sold cars with seatbelts. We didn't get buckled up. We got hung up in the back seat. And my sister and I, my big sister, we'd be fighting back there. And I know that all kids fight in the back seats, but the difference between my big sister and me and kids today, when we fought back there, we'd be standing up. My dad would say, hey, you want me to come back there? I thought that was a fascinating idea. Yeah, sure, Dad. Come on back since you're driving. All right, Bobby, that's it. Time out. Up in the back window. He would send me to the back window for a timeout. Turn around. I don't even want you looking this way, so I'd be laying up there in the back window. Little solar heat coming in. I remember that. Oh, look, a farmer on a combine passing us on this swervy road. And he's drinking. Praying we wouldn't have to swerve for deer because there were deer everywhere. I know there are deer in Minnesota. I see them, but you would not believe North Central Pennsylvania. You would not believe it. You would not believe it. Did I say that? You would not. I was like 10 before I realized that deer were living creatures. Honest, I just thought the highway department dragged them out there every morning to slow us down the way to school. I hit a deer right in my little town, right in the village I hit a deer. Destroyed my bike. Wasn't even old enough to ride in the street yet. I'm thunking along in the sidewalk. Ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk. This buck comes bounding out of a bush between two houses, knocks me right off my banana seat. I want to tell you something. Those kind of things happen to a 5-year-old enough times, that child's going to have Bambi nightmares the rest of his life. 50 years later, his wife's going to be saying to him, boy, you were screaming again last night. All night long screaming. Help me, Thumper, help me. And we had, you people my age, we had my town packs of roving dogs. They didn't even belong to anybody. These days, every dog's got a collar with a license, with a leash, with an owner, with a plastic bag walking behind it. Not back then. Packs of dogs, and they ran in V's like this. And there were no little dogs because all the little ones have been eaten by the big ones. And their whole purpose was to terrorize little children. It was so frightening. I remember I was 10 years old. I'm in the driveway shooting baskets, pretending really because we didn't have a hoop. I heard this, turn around, pack of dogs coming right after me. And I screamed, ran to the screen door, slammed it, too late, because one of the dogs got his paw stuck right in the door, in the aluminum screen door. It was the one-eyed dog. later known as the one-eyed, three-legged dog. And I wasn't going to let go, and I was screaming, and my dad said, "What's the racket down there?" I said, "Oh, Dad, these mean dogs." He said, "You have no idea what mean dogs are." When I was a kid, every dog had rabies. I have so much fun. I have for my whole career had so much fun at my dad's expense, honestly. But I want you to know, if he were here tonight, he'd be sleeping. But I would tell these stories and he would delight in them, which tickles me because I understand that my dad gets it. My dad understands my profession. My dad knows that I'm just using him to make money. Got a call from my mom a few years back. She said, "Your dad's had a terrible accident." My dad, old guy, had climbed up in an apple tree, 18 feet, picking apples, throwing them to my teenage cousin on the ground. My teenage cousin was who should have been in the apple tree, by the way, was catching the apples and putting them in an apple basket. And my dad figured out if he could pick a whole lot of apples and throw them faster than my cousin could catch them and put them, then he could repeatedly hit my cousin, which he was really enjoying. And they got laughing. Well, my dad was. Grabbed a rotten limb, snapped off. He went backwards off the branch from 18 feet. Old paratrooper, he managed to land on his side, but of course something's going to go. Shattered his pelvis. They had him in surgery for 4 or 5 hours, screwing him back together. My mom couldn't get a hold of me. She finally did later that evening. I said, "Can I talk to him?" She said, "Yeah, I think so." Hey, I want to tell you something. I love my mom and my dad. I'm a kid who's always loved his mom and dad, and never a moment in my life have I questioned if my mom and dad love me. I always knew how much they loved me. But having told you that, I would also say this. My dad and I didn't say those 3 words, "I love you." Hardly ever. And I've wondered why that is, because I always said those words to my boys, and they to their children, and now I to my grandchildren. But all those years, and now my dad and I, we talk a couple times a week. We never end a conversation without saying, "I love you, Dad," and "I love you, son." But all those years growing up, we didn't say those words. I said, "Can I talk to him?" She said, "Yeah, I think so." And then I heard my dad say, "Hi, Bob," 2 syllables. And I heard the pain in my dad's voice. I never heard pain in my dad's voice before. I said, "Dad, I'm so sorry." He said, "Well, thanks, Bob." I said, "I heard you were up pretty high." He said, "You have no idea how high I thought he was going to tell me about how his skin was heating up as he came through the atmosphere back down to earth. I said, "Dad, I wish there was something I could say." He said, "Well, thanks, Bob." And then I realized, hey, life is short, huh? And I said those 3 words so long overdue. I said, "Dad, walk it off." Come on. Which got him laughing pretty good, by the way. And apparently it really hurts to laugh with a crotch full of screws. And I can't think of a better segue into our Honor Teacher Award. It has nothing to do with a crotch full of screws. Honestly, I promise you it does not. This award recognizes 1 educator in grades K to 8 and 1 in grades 9 to 12 who model outstanding service to the students in school. These educators are leaders who display a commitment to engaging and developing each student with whom they are entrusted. We begin by sharing the stories of this year's K to 8 finalists.
With 31 years of service, Julie Ball is the senior member of the faculty at Marshall School in Duluth. Julie serves as a moral compass for her colleagues and students as she thoughtfully challenges everyone to be their very best selves. The pursuit for excellence with her students is demonstrated by her unyielding desire to develop lifelong learners. Compassion also extends to her colleagues. Having now raised her 2 sons, she offered to reduce her contract so a young colleague just beginning his family could remain full-time. Julie Ball is a master at curriculum design and instruction. She has designed her own curriculum for 7th grade social studies and 7th and 8th grade language arts. Her student-centered curriculum captures the students' interests and gives them a variety of learning styles that showcase their strengths. Her research-based social studies curriculum takes students through a 12-step research process, while at the same time lighting a fire about something of personal interest to them. What started out as a unit on immigration to the United States turned into an annual, student-led, multicultural festival, which celebrated its 21st anniversary this year. The most impressive part of the festival is when students host their own booths, showing off their research and serving as experts for parents and guests. Julie is also the inspiration behind the students' participation in the National History Day competition. Winning this competition is defined in countless ways for students as they learn to connect a theme with something in history. Whether it's honing their research skills, learning to put together a documentary, or to write a thesis, or simply completing the project from start to finish, Julie recognizes that winning means something different for each student. Julie pushes students to see themselves as moral beings. She views her role as more than teaching content, but as helping young people develop into adults with integrity, moral ethics, and a strong sense of purpose. Yes, it is easier and safer to focus on content, but Julie does not shy away from an opportunity to have the harder discussion with students and help them develop their own moral compass. Like many master teachers, Julie leads by example. She always welcomes visitors into her classroom and sees her role as being a mentor for new colleagues. Rather than assuming formal leadership positions that come with compensation, Julie often steps forward to meet unanticipated needs within the community. Opening a study room for students when not on lunch duty, leading the faculty support initiative, playing in the faculty band, and continuing on the football chain gang to raise school spirit and support the team, servant leadership at its best. According to Karen Snyder, Associate Head of School and Middle School Principal, learning is messy, and Julie embraces the chance to help students make sense of the mess. Middle school students quickly see through rhetoric and enjoy jumping on inconsistencies. Instead of telling students how to act, Josh Nutter, social studies teacher at Carondelet Catholic School in Minneapolis, models it. Demanding self-discipline, recognizing individuality, and treating people kindly, he relates to the students as people rather than seeing them as children. At 8th grade graduation, he speaks of each student's unique strengths and interests, each remark beautifully reflecting the true person. Josh makes history come alive for his students. With the use of Discovery Ed textbooks, Promethean active board lessons, and the mobile laptop lab, Josh uses technology coupled with interesting and accessible content to teach his students lessons from the past. By capturing the students' attention in very modern ways, he keeps history alive and fresh. With his focus on hands-on learning, Josh has been known to recreate a medieval kingdom or life in a monastery. He has involved students in a barter system, shown the liege-serf limitations, and had them engage in civil wars. Josh's success can be seen through the overall enthusiasm and feedback of students and their excellence at History Day competitions. Carondelet Middle School students often cite Josh's class as their favorite, while families have stated that children dominate family time recounting the day's lessons and activities absorbed in Josh's class. To Carondelet graduates, Josh remains the best history teacher ever. Josh is also a constant cheerleader and resource for colleagues who struggle with technology. He serves as the school's athletic director, is an organizer of the popular annual middle school musical, and initiated the annual 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. Josh encourages students to spend their time volunteering, thus making service an extension of the classroom. As an organizer of the kindergarten through 8th grade buddy program, Josh encourages students to understand and form relationships with younger kids. He also challenges students to try new things like sports teams and the school musical. Just like high academic work, their involvement in new activities produces students who move into high school and adulthood brimming with confidence, kindness, empathy, and critical thinking skills. According to Principal Sue Kerr, Josh has the uncanny ability to relate to middle school kids. He sets an example on how to build trust and respect with them. They not only want to meet expectations, they do. The most genuine and compassionate teacher I know. She brings a joyful attitude to her class and is truly interested in the well-being of each individual. Who else brings vases with fresh flowers for the students' tables? These comments from a fellow colleague illustrate in a small way why Miriam Shuris, middle school language arts, K-5 art, and STEM teacher at Gethsemane Lutheran School in Maplewood, is one of this year's K-8 honor teacher finalists. Miriam has high standards for student interaction, and she models and enforces these standards daily. She's always willing to step forward to help and put student learning as a priority. She will take the time to visit with any student, parent, or colleague. As an example, one parent stated, "Even though she is very busy as a teacher and parent of 2 children in school, Miriam has taken the time to meet with my senior high daughter before school to help her with her writing skills. I cannot emphasize enough her love of teaching and the Gethsemane community." As an art teacher, Miriam routinely includes clay as a medium. She is an accomplished potter, making and selling her own pottery and jewelry. She takes students' creations and fires them in her own kiln without charge, either to the school or to the students. As a language arts teacher, middle school students have grown in their writing abilities in all subject areas due to Miriam's high expectations and examples of proper writing. Students know how to answer questions in written form, whether they are in science, history, math, or language arts. Another example of Miriam's talents is the middle school play production of The Phantom Toll Booth. When she first suggested this, others saw only the huge amount of work involved and didn't think middle school students would be excited about it. Her leadership and encouragement soon changed all of that. The presentation was a huge success, and the play will be presented again this spring as part of a 3-year rotation. Above and beyond her teaching role, Miriam is very invested in the community. In addition to serving as the school's grant writer, Miriam accepted roles as the school yearbook editor, teacher representative for the school board, and chair of the school uniform revision committee. She shoulders and leads the Sunday school Christmas program at her church and organizes parent and student activities for her children's classes, such as a trip to feed my starving children or a night of bowling. In her spare time, she designs and orders t-shirts for the school's worship Sunday. Miriam is truly an amazing asset to the school and the community. Principal Scott Revoir states, "Miriam is an outstanding teacher whose compassion and energy never seem to fail. She thoroughly knows each of her students' abilities and challenges them to do their very best." Math and STEM teacher at Gethsemane Lutheran School in Maplewood, Bob Wadekin's personal integrity and dedication to fairness provide daily examples to his students and colleagues of the importance of these character traits. His passion and commitment extend to continually learning new techniques to help his students gain a lasting understanding of subject matter. Bob teaches combined 7th and 8th grade math in the morning and dedicates his afternoon to Gethsemane's interdisciplinary class. The interdisciplinary class is part of a 3-year rotation that covers 3 units: bridge design, architectural design, and theater. In separate years, Gethsemane was awarded MISF STEM innovation grants for the bridge and architectural design units, and Bob was at the forefront of these efforts. He spent many hours over the summer preparing to teach Google SketchUp, and even before the architectural design unit was over, he was busy doing research for the MISF grant for the bridge design unit. Bob spent another summer preparing for implementation. He set up a field trip to visit the bridge that would be replaced over the St. Croix River in Stillwater, so students could be part of this real-world project. Bob has influenced students with his unwavering dedication to preparing them for high school. His directions and expectations are very clear to the students, and they know exactly what they need to do to reach their potential. He expects all students to follow through on their assignments and keeps very accurate records of their growth and improvement. He is committed to knowing his subject well and in turn sharing it with his students. His passion and style enable students to believe in their own abilities, which is why their standardized test scores increase significantly with each year of his instruction. He is committed to long-term learning, and his students leave his class with the foundation necessary for success at the high school level and beyond. Bob shows an incredible dedication to professional development. In the past 4 years alone, he participated in the 2013 3M Twist program, a program that allows middle and high school math, science, and technology teachers to spend 6 weeks during the summer working closely with the 3M host on an actual 3M research project. He attended numerous Minnesota Council of Math Teachers conferences, received training for the use of iPads in the classroom, and organized meetings with professionals in the industry to enhance the STEM education of Gethsemane students. Bob is also very involved in his community. He is the lead organist and choir director for Christ Lutheran Church of Marine on St. Croix, and he volunteers at Concordia Academy in Roseville to keep the scorebook for all of the varsity basketball games. According to Principal Scott Revoir, Bob is a master teacher whose hard work and dedication are a shining example to all.
Let's welcome all of our finalists to the stage, please. And come right up here, you guys. Congratulations. Jim Field, our MISF president, is going to give each of you your award. Can you do that now, Jim? All of you guys, of course, are winners. We recognize that. Julie, twice over.
Very I like our video run again.
And the grade K-8 Honor Teacher Award for 2014 goes to Josh Nutter.
Thank you. Okay, since we're starting to use technology more in our school, I have some notes on mine. First, I'd like to thank the Minnesota Independent School Forum and their continued commitment to, like it says all over, it's all about the kids, and it truly is, and their ability to strengthen the independent schools. It's a great thing. For the faculty and staff at Carondelet, a few of them are here. A few of them are probably stranded in where are they? New Orleans. They were stranded, and so we were frantically getting subs today. But for the faculty and staff, it's a great community. It's great to be on a terrific team, and they all want the best for the students. So it's great to be a part of that. The parents, especially Maureen Kennedy, Abby Williams-Giese, who nominated me for this award. So some of that great writing came from them. But it's working closely with parents, and I'm sure you all know, and all of you educators know, that in independent schools, we have a unique ability to work very closely with families, and some become your friends, and they're like family. And my wife and I had twins recently, and
I can bring them anywhere, and there's moms and dads and kids running over to hold them and watch them, so it's kind of like a little break. So, and the family said, their kids are like, we have built-in babysitters, we'll drive them out there. So it's a great to see that they care so much about their child's education, which is really good. Finally, the kids, that's why we're here, for their hard work and willingness to take risks and set high standards for themselves. Can't do much without them. So that's really good. So I think I can speak for everyone that was nominated for this award, that the only recognition that teachers need is the knowledge that the students are going to make a difference and to do something great in this ever-changing world. So thanks again.
Why don't you guys all get together? We'll take a picture here so we can get all of you together. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, you guys. Congratulations. Wonderful. Now let's meet our finalists for the Honor Teacher Award, grades 9 through 12.
As the founder of the Benilde St. Margaret's BSM Orchestra, Christina Lance brings music to this year's list of outstanding honor teacher finalists. Additionally, she has been the one behind the soothing atmosphere of the private and independent awards celebration. It is Christina who has conducted the BSM Student Orchestra, a group of students who have provided the entertainment at MISF's awards celebration for the past 2 years. What initially began as a handful of students playing strings has become 2 vibrant and highly skilled orchestras with more than 30 students involved in total. The chamber orchestra plays at numerous events beyond their regular school concerts. Charity gatherings, Christmas parties, community service meetings, and fundraising events are a few examples. With an already full schedule, it would be easy for Christina to say no to additional invitations. But her first reply is always, "That would be wonderful. What's the date?" She is always willing to go the extra mile when it comes to giving her time and energy. Students at BSM are also busy. However, Christina makes sure that they are not limited to just being in orchestra. She seems to easily accommodate each student's schedule and still keep the group well rehearsed and ready for performances. The quality and difficulty of the pieces of music that students are able to perform under Christina's guidance and leadership are an example of the measurable outcomes she achieves. She not only teaches the technical skill required to play each instrument, she also imparts a love for the orchestra and an appreciation for the beauty of music. And who would guess that an orchestra teacher could integrate technology into the classroom? Well, Christina has done just that. She found a computer program that gives students immediate feedback while they practice. Students play their piece while the computer in front of them picks up the sound of their instrument. The computer software lets the student know how accurate each note is, thereby helping them quickly self-correct. Watching Christina direct the orchestra visibly portrays the passion and expertise she brings to the task. Students can't help but be immersed in her love of music and her appreciation for stringed instruments. Dr. Sue Skinner, principal at BSM, clearly reveals the appreciation and pride she has in Christina's accomplishments. Christina has fully designed, led, and developed a beautiful testament to the power of art, music, and spirituality. Who better to share the impact a teacher has in the classroom than one of their students? And it is because of Katie, the student who submitted this nomination, that Tammy O'Laughlin is one of the 2014 Honor Teacher finalists. Vice principal and math teacher, Tammy has compassion for the subject of math and also for her students. Her passion is to make sure each student achieves their potential. She spends hours after school to help her students meet their goals. Tammy strives for excellence in preparing her students in math courses. As a result, 100% of the current graduating class is achieving college standards. In fact, the test scores were the best in the city of Winona and the surrounding areas. Also, because teachers at Hope have the opportunity and freedom to talk about God and His love in school without fear, Tammy has continually entwined this into her daily lessons on math. Every once in a while, students will hear Tammy break out into a song, and her favorite song seems to be I Am Woman by Helen Reddy. Tammy is definitely the person to say, I am woman, hear me roar. She gives her voice to the students not only in song, but in math, not to mention her opinion on the recent football game. Tammy's leadership is also well known among her colleagues. She is able to convey to them that every student can be taught if you just take the time to find their individual strengths and weaknesses. Katie, one of Tammy's current students, stated, "Before I had Mrs. O'Loughlin for math, I was narrowly passing my math class. But for the past 3 years, my grade has consistently been a B average. Mrs. O'Loughlin has been able to teach every math student that has ever walked through her door." Tammy is the mother of 5 girls, and at the same time has also paid for her niece's tuition at Hope. Additionally, she was one of the founders of the high school 11+ years ago. She coached volleyball at the grade school for 10 years and is now the head varsity coach at the high school. She has led many youth Bible studies. She tutors after school every day, on weekends, in the summer, and whenever necessary in order to make sure her students are successful in math. She also volunteers at Restored Blessings, a secondhand store that is affiliated with Hope Church and School. It's certainly no wonder that Tammy O'Loughlin is one of this year's Honor Teacher finalists. Learning Resource Coordinator, Dormitory Director, Instructor. These are the roles Dr. Carrie Pfeiffer successfully handles at St. Croix Lutheran Schools, a private parochial school in West St. Paul that serves students in grades 6 through 12 and includes an international program of about 100 students from more than 12 different countries. As Learning Resource Coordinator, Carrie works with students who could easily be disenfranchised. She establishes a high bar of achievement for them and holds them accountable. As dorm director, she works with students who struggle with roommates, academics, or life issues and helps equip them with problem-solving tools. As instructor, Carrie currently teaches English 4 and College Writing 1, an Introduction to Fiction. She uses technology extensively in her classroom and constantly looks for new tools, apps, and projects to weave into her instruction. Sira, a high school senior, Korean international student, and dorm resident, stated, "The college writing class that I took with Dr. Pfeiffer was the best class I have ever taken. My writing skills improved immensely, and I was able to use those skills to write my college application essays." Carrie started a very successful peer tutoring program as a part of the Learning Resource Program. Tutors apply to be a part of the program, stating why they believe they would be effective tutors. The student tutors must complete an online training program that Carrie designed specifically for the program. Students give up their free time to tutor, and the program has had great impact on the academic and social growth of both the tutors and their peers. Carrie organizes and implements training for all in-service teachers, is a professional learning community leader, and serves as an adjunct professor for a teaching training program. Carrie has also taught workshops for parent groups within the Twin Cities area on topics such as supporting your child with disabilities, improving your child's study skills, and understanding technology tools to assist their children. Laura Grutzmacher, current parent of a St. Croix student, shared, "Dr. Pfeiffer is one of the most caring, kind, and thoughtful instructors I have ever encountered. Her depth of knowledge complements her incredible gift for working with students with special learning needs. It has been an incredible comfort to know Dr. Pfeiffer has always been there to support my daughter as a student and us as parents. When combining his experience in K-12 schools and college teaching, Steve Vopatic, science teacher and department chair at the Academy of Holy Angels, or AHA, in Richfield, has a total of 44 years in experience as an educator. His compassion, enthusiasm, and commitment have been a gift to AHA students and staff. He is among the first to arrive in the morning and is often tutoring science students at 7 o'clock a.m., ensuring that they get the help and attention they need to learn, succeed, and enjoy science. Steve has taught science at all levels, regular and advanced, to grades 9 through 12, and has taught advanced placement or AP science for the past 9 years at AHA. When you watch him teach, you know why AHA grads take the time to write to him to share news like this. I am currently applying for many internships in chemical engineering. I am so happy you led me to this field because I couldn't be happier. All of your AP chemistry knowledge has definitely made my chemistry classes way easier compared to how my friends are struggling with organic chemistry. As Science Department Chair, Steve leads the science and math programs in articulating and building AHA's STEM diploma program, a combination of rigorous coursework, applied technology, science, and math, co-curricular participation, and an internship, followed by a research paper. Steve meets with students individually to review their course requirements, determine the best shadowing and internship opportunities for them, and confer with them about their research paper and findings. The first group of 17 students to complete AHA's STEM diploma program are graduating in the class of 2014, a direct result of Steve's personal involvement with them throughout their high school experience. As the National Honor Society coordinator, Steve regularly leads students on service projects like Habitat for Humanity, Feed My Starving Children, and local service projects. His homeroom is always on the forefront when providing items for AHA Christmas baskets and Starfest homeroom baskets. Steve and his wife Carol are regularly seen enjoying a school concert, cheering at the home football game, or helping serve lunch in the Stars Cafe. Steve is a supporter of all things AHA and has been a great supporter of recent financial and building projects.
And let's welcome all of our finalists to the stage. Yes, we're just going to wait till people quit clapping and then we'll move on here. And go ahead, Jim, if you'll give them their awards. Congratulations, you guys. And the winner of the Honor Teacher Awards, grades 9 through 12, is Stephen Vopatek.
Thank you so much.
Well, this was unexpected, to say the least. I want to thank MISF from the bottom of my heart, not just for this award, but for the 2 STEM grants that we have received at the Academy, which have launched and continue to keep our STEM program online. I want to thank President Shipley and Principal Foley for nominating me for this award. I want to thank my coworkers who came out to support me, my current coworkers, and a couple of coworkers from the past. And You know, you don't get up here on your own. This is a group effort, and I've learned so much from all of the people that I work with day to day. And last but not least, I want to thank my beautiful wife of 45 years. This woman truly is my heart's inspiration. She keeps me on a level playing field, encourages me when I'm discouraged, and has made my life a dream. Thank you so much. Thank you, MISF. Thank you, friends and supporters.
Congratulations, Steve. Want to get a picture up here? Yeah. Great, thanks you guys. Wonderful. Well, we are almost done. We want to thank you so much for coming here tonight. And this event would not have been possible without the support of the sponsors, obviously, the MISF Board of Directors, our committee members, and each of you for your help. We appreciate that so much. We have just a couple things that you need to hear before you leave. And to do that for us, I want to welcome to the stage our new Associate President, Tim Benz, and MISF Board Chair, Doug Yeager. Would you welcome them to the stage, please?
All right, now for the official end of the evening program. The number of students or the number of schools we serve in MISF right now is 147. That has grown from, I'm going to take my glasses off. That has grown from only a few years ago, 29. And that was deliberate. What we did is we put together a new strategic plan a few years ago that called for growing Minnesota Independent Schools Forum by making it accessible to all K-12 schools in the state. And in that time, we've gone from 29 to 147. And we now represent 31,000 kids, 31,000 students, and we're growing monthly. At the same time, in that strategic plan, we knew we needed a succession plan. And our succession plan called for us to figure out how are we going to lead this organization going forward. So we went out and recruited an associate president. And the associate president we were successfully recruiting to bring into the organization is Mr. Tim Benz. And before turning over the mic to Tim, I just want to tell you a little bit about Tim. Tim is an alum of and a parent of MISF schools. He is a private school guy by background. He's passionate about it. He knows management. He knows marketing. He knows development. He knows advocacy. He's what we need to take this organization going forward. And he's walking in the shoes of a great man named Jim Field, who is irreplaceable. And we're going to talk about Jim here in a minute, but before doing so, I wanted to make a formal introduction of Tim, help you understand that this organization has a sustainable future through our succession plan, and introduce Tim and give him an opportunity to say a few words about himself and why he's joined MISF. Tim?
Good evening, and thank you, Doug. I'm honored. I'm privileged to be standing up here tonight. This is the first award ceremony I've been to. This started actually the year after I left Cretin-Derham Hall, and to see what it's become is just amazing. So kudos to everybody who's been part of that. So as Doug said, I'm a thankful product of independent education. Two of our two sons are at member schools currently. I worked at Cretin-Derham Hall for a little over 10 years. So this work is in my blood, as it is for all of you in this room. Tonight we recognize and celebrate great works that happen in our school, but we all know success happens each and every day. Since I came in January, I've had an opportunity to go visit some of our member schools and to hear the stories and just kind of look at what's going on. And you all know that there's a song right now that all the kids would hum is that anything can happen, and you know that. As Doug mentioned, think about this. The number of students in our 147 schools are about 31,000. If we took that number and just called it a district, we would be the fourth largest school district in the state of Minnesota right now. Think about this. If we took all of the private and independent schools in Minnesota, 480 so, and took all those students together, that's about 70,000 students, right? That would be the largest school district in the state of Minnesota by some 30,000 students. When we talk about our combined educational footprint, we speak from a position of strength. This is why we need to raise our public voice as much as possible. We stand on the shoulders here of Jim Field, the leader of MISF for the last 25 years. I know these are big shoes to fill. I can't fill the bow tie. I have one and it's a clip-on, so Jim hasn't taught me how to tie one yet. So, in the last few months, Jim and I have become very close partners, colleagues, and friends. And I know that Jim's primary hope for MISF going forward is to be as impactful into the future as it has been in the last 25 years. And as Jim would say, to meet the needs of our students, or the kids. We all know that's Jim's favorite word. I look forward to meeting and working with all of you, our schools, our funders, our community stakeholders, and to bring recognition and resources to our combined efforts. Thank you very much.
So now one of the additional important parts of the evening, an opportunity to pay tribute to Jim Field for his leadership and the gifts and the contribution he's made to this organization. As Tim shared, many of us have been touched by Jim and touched by Jim's heart. Whether it's his tenacious leadership, his contagious optimism, or his passion for kids, we have been touched by Jim Field's leadership and the contribution he's made to the independent and private schools network over the past 25 years. Jim has been, yeah, look at that. Jim, wasn't that first picture just last year? Jim has been our primary voice for independent and private schools. He's been the voice of our students, of our staff, and as many of you know, Jim will officially retire as our president this July. He's not going to go away. Jim's going to continue to serve in an emeritus capacity and advocate on behalf of MISF at the Capitol and also on a national level, and he will continue to be involved in member support. As we prepare for the transition, however, we wanted each of you to share in this much-deserved tribute. And I figured the best way to do that was to ask some of the people that have been partners with Jim in this organization and been served by Jim in this organization. So let me begin with a few quotes. First, Rosa Miller, a former MISF board member and the retired vice president of Latin America 3M. Now, for those of you who don't know Rosa, she's a Spitfire, and Jim has found a way into Rosa's heart. Rosa says, Jim Field has been the transforming force that made MISF the much-needed collaborative enterprise for Minnesota independent and private schools. His work over the years has always been all about the kids. Another partner of Jim's, Denny Niggin, former retired president of Rochester Catholic Schools. Denny says, Jim has been a strong leader that has been sensitive to the many needs of the very diverse membership of MISF. He's a man of great character and integrity. Over the years that I have known him, we have become great friends. Dr. Donna Harris, president of Minnehaha Academy. Jim is a strong voice, a highly successful advocate, and a gifted education leader in Minnesota. His wealth of knowledge and toil in the education vineyard has produced a wonderful harvest. Dr. Bob Tift, president of Benilde St. Margaret's. Jim has the uncanny ability to use his tremendous network of community leaders to help us achieve our mission and has created a strong legacy for the future of MISF. Richard Engler, president of Cretin-Durham Hall. Jim has kept the vision and direction of MISF at the forefront. Jim is open, sensitive, and listens well. He has skillfully managed the many personalities of the leaders of the independent and private schools with patience, tact, and grace. And that's no small feat, folks. Randy Kroll, president of Calvin Christian School. Everyone likes Fig Field. Jim practices the art of getting to know people, their needs, and to work as if their needs come first. He has the long view in mind and continues to move in that direction without urgency and bluster, but with consistency and quiet persistence. And finally, Joel Landscreener, Executive Director of Mayer Lutheran High School. Jim's warm demeanor and welcoming spirit is most appreciated. Through the years, Jim's capacity to lead and to promote our cause has been impressive. An important principle we often hear at MISF events and meetings is that we are about kids. Jim Field exemplifies that principle in everything he does. He is the real deal. I know you'll agree with me, folks, for those of you that have met Jim, come in contact with Jim, worked with Jim, that he has represented us all with passion, commitment, honesty, and an even hand as he actively promotes private and independent schools. In recognition of Jim and his service to MISF and our schools, the Board of Directors is pleased to announce the establishment of the James B. Field Legacy Award. This award will recognize an individual, community, corporation, or foundation that reflects the characteristics Jim has. Characteristics of passion for the importance of the independent and private education community, working collaboratively to bring greater voice to our combined service to Minnesota, and an appreciation of the diverse populations and communities that we serve. The first award will be presented next year at this time at the awards celebration. We feel this award is a very special legacy in honor of a gentleman for whom it was named. We are honored that Jim's family is here tonight with us. Not all at the table, because there's a couple of little kids that are keeping Nana on her toes. There they are. We are thankful that Jim's family is here with us. Jim has family across the state in the broader MISF community. And we are pleased that everyone in this room could join in this special evening. Jim, to you I say thank you for being Jim Field. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your commitment. And most of all, Jim, thank you for your passion for kids. Please join me in thanking Jim Field.
See, Mom, I told you I'd make it someday. Oh, that's very nice. Excuse me if I get choked up because I do operate from the heart. I'm going to spare you a big, long speech. But I sure love everybody in this room, and I love the kids and working. Could a person have a better job? I don't think so. So, some of you know that I'm a musician. I have the Moldy Fig Jazz Band, and I have two of our musicians here. Debbie Schreier, who teaches at Emmanuel Lutheran School in Mankato. She's the band director. She also has just been elected to the United States Hall of Fame banjo. Yeah, I told you she's the band director at this Lutheran school in Mankato. Her husband, Tom, who has a golden voice, who we're not going to let sing tonight. But these are my dear friends. We play a lot of music together all the time, and that's what's good. So here's the speech. I have a good friend out there, Tim Plum, who went to college with me in Chicago. We've been friends a long time. He flew up here from Naples, Florida, to be a part of this when he heard about it. And Tim's very successful, has been very successful in business. And he always told me, Jim, if you get the right product, you can sell anything. Well, this is the right product. The people in this room do such great work for the state. They graduate 97% of their kids. 94% go on to college. Think about that. The public schools are a lot worse than that. Yes, they have bigger problems, but for every kid that graduates from our high schools, it saves the state about $40,000 a year. So think about that, folks. The people in this room are part of saving the state a lot of money. And that's the kind of story that I'm going to be forwarding and telling, and I already have told at the Capitol for years. So it's you people that are the product. It's your kids that are the product. And I'd like to sing a Fats Waller tune. Fats Waller was the son of a minister, a great organ and piano player, wrote songs. He had two main jobs. He was the church organist for his dad's church, grew up in Harlem, New York. He was an African-American gentleman. He also, his other job was teaching piano. He taught us a lot. He's one of my favorite guys. And has anybody heard of Fats Waller before? I think a lot of people have. Good. So he wrote a song called You Meet the Nicest People in Your Dreams. And you are they. Well, I've met some very fine people, some very, very, very fine people, but you meet the nicest people in your dreams. I know that this is true. That's where I first met you, and you're the nicest, paradisest things I ever knew. Well, I've traveled this world wide over, from Wackinacsack to Dover, and now that we have met, how sweet it seems. Well, I love you the more I know you, which only goes to show you, you meet the nicest people in your dreams. Oh yes, go with me. You meet the nicest people in your dreams. Thank you.
Got no chance to follow that up. I'm telling you right now. Holy Hannah. Seriously, that's awesome. That is Jim Field right there, isn't it? That is Jim Field. Well, first of all, just fully recognizing we are in the state of hockey. A few miles from here, there might be something going on that a few people want to get home. But seriously, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you to our sponsors. API, our presenting sponsor. We are very grateful. Thank you to all of those who had any part in this tonight. Congratulations to our honorees. Congratulations to our STEM award winners. And we expect to see you back here next year as well. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
The 6th Annual Minnesota Private and Independent Education Awards is presented by API Group Incorporated, and this awards program is made possible in part by support from RBC Wealth Management, Augsburg College, the Hamlin University School of Education, Mayors and Power, Patterson Companies Incorporated, St. Mary's University of Minnesota, Boulay, TADS, Minnesota's private colleges. Boyum and Berenshire, certified public accountants and advisors. Allegra and Image 360, graphics, signage, and displays. Capella University. Mark and Jane Chronister. CompuNet International. Concordia University of St. Paul. LifeTouch. Martin Luther College. Smart Tuition. The University of St. Thomas. And Excel Energy.